were testing him, but he failed. But what do? You go through with the wedding? What the hell, lady? Happy 90 Day the Other Way finale. But I'm pretty sure they're leaving most of the drama for the reunion, so that should be interesting because, of course, sparks are going to fly. But James and Tata finally called it goodbye, not quits yet, but will they make it last? And is there a cheating scandal? And Sarper and Shekinah, who's hiding what still? Josh and Lily finally have a wedding, but is he broke? Corono and Inky might have come to an agreement, but I don't think it actually ends up lasting because dreams are shattered. And do Sean and Joanne finally make some very tough decisions? We will see all of that in just a minute. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. Let's get right into it with the famous James and Tata, who are just the most annoying couple because they just cannot get on the same page. For one, she's about the ugliest crier. For two, and for three, he kind of lies a lot. But now he's got to go back grovel. Well, won't jump there yet.
I mean, right now, I don't even know if my parents would let me come back to work for them. These are things I have to figure out.
You should have figured out that before you left. They shouldn't let you come back because this will be time number 2 that you've jetted up out of there, left them high and dry in the family business, and decided, hey, I'm going to run off with someone that I know I have no business being with. Now, in defense of this relationship, you have been with her for a little bit longer, so maybe you're making it last a little bit better, but there's a lot of chinks in the armor, and there's a lot of cracks in the fault. There's a lot of, cracks in the foundation. Whatever phrase you want to say, there's a lot of issues going on here, and distance ain't gonna help it. But let's get real. You should have never came over here to begin with because you didn't have money, you had a giant car payment, you were relying on everyone else, you didn't have a job. Explain to me how this was ever a good idea.
I was there to visit and decides she doesn't want to leave.
Talking about her sister because she's giving him an ultimatum of, if I'm gonna go, I need my sister to go, which is weird.
I don't think she will do that.
Are you high? She already just shoved that wedge right in between y'all with that whole rumor thing before because she was mad because you moved away, which, by the way, was your decision to begin with. But yeah, let's blame all your husband. Now, let's be real. There's a lot he can be blamed for. He lied to you about a lot of things, but this is squarely on you and your sister.
I mean, I need more time than the time we've had to get to know her and fully trust her.
You're never going to trust her. Let's just be honest. You might as well just let that go. She is never going to be someone that you're going to be able to trust. Now, it was all nice and well and good when you were at the wedding until you said, we have to move back, I have to move back, whatever. Now you're square on the naughty list, if you will. Let's get into the Christmas spirit because she's never going to like you. She's always going to feel like you took her sister away. Not the fact that her sister's an adult seems to not matter at all, and she can make her own decisions. And oh, by the way, her sister moved away to a whole nother city, but that's okay though because it's a little bit closer than the United States. Clearly, there's plenty of issues going on here.
Taking is just to go ride the bullet train because it is something Tata's dad has always wanted to do. They still don't know that this trip is for me to return back to the United States.
Nothing like continuing the same crap you've done this whole damn time. Lying to everybody, not telling them the truth, and just up and leaving. Y'all have done this like 3 times in this season. From her originally going, to you then going with your whole family, coming over here, now heading back, you're lying to her family, telling them you're going to ride the bullet train, and then you're just going to be like, well, I'm not coming back with y'all. Never mind the fact that you're bringing like 5 bags with you and the dad is already suspicious. How dumb can you be?
Nggak beres banget ini kayak gini.
This isn't right. You're not going with him.
Akhirnya ngomongnya juga dadakan, enggak.
Yes.
Mama sangat-sangat kecewa banget.
Yes, she's disappointed, very disappointed because, yes, you told her suddenly, but what did you think was going to happen? You're pulling down all these bags and you're like, we're just going to ride the bullet train. Did you really think they were going to ride along with that? No, you actually had to tell them, and now they're upset. It happened suddenly. Yes, because you didn't tell them. So they're going to be a little upset. I mean, they didn't even know you were coming there. When you originally came there and said you were moving there, they were like, oh, we thought you were coming to visit. Okay, great. So then they got used to the idea of you staying, and now you're saying, oh, never mind. I really was just kind of visiting because we had no plan. I'm an idiot. I have no money. I left my family. I just abandoned them all, and I have a bunch of obligations. So now I got to go back. And now you got to tell them all that crap, and then, but you're going to come back when you get it together. My man, you ain't never going to get together. You might as well just accept that if y'all are going to be together, you need to bring her over to the States. If your parents give you another chance, you are lucky because they shouldn't.
I've made many promises to you, and taking care of you is one of them,
yeah.
and that's more important to me right now. If I could find another way around this, I would have already done it.
Yeah, like don't buy a truck that you still owe $14,000 on and just abandon your job. Maybe that one.
Easy, you can just bring Angel there.
This is her logic. The logic is you can just bring Angel there. It fixes everything. She says, I am not going with you unless my sister can go there. She gave him a straight up ultimatum. This has nothing to do with anything but wanting her sister to be here with her. This might be calculated. This might have been all a plan. Like, you know what? I didn't like it as much as I liked, Indonesia over here. But, we could plan this. It's not that bad. What we'll do is I'll hold out. I'll do some ugly crying. And then we'll bring you over there because he's going to give in. And guess what? With the previews with the whole reunion, it seems like he did. So he's an idiot. She's a manipulator. And guess what? Well, he's a liar anyway, so it's not like he's innocent in this. But they are destined to be doomed. Or you know what? He's going to give in to everything and just be trapped and doomed and miserable. So have fun with that. And her fake illnesses she brings over there with them saying, oh, I got a thyroid issue that they couldn't figure out in the States, but magically fixed when I came back to Indonesia. This is a fun couple because both of them are nothing but liars and manipulators. It's ridiculous.
But I'm just so scared to live in the United States again. I'm scared that I will feel alone, and I'm scared I will have a bad health issue again.
Lies, 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 liar, liar, pants on fire, times 3. I give that 5 pants on fires, the biggest of the liars. Like, what are you talking about? You know damn well you didn't have no thyroid issue that they magically figured out when you came back to Indonesia. Lies, all of it. I don't know if you didn't go to doctors. I don't know if they didn't do a blood workup or you never got it. But let me tell you something. You were lying about it somehow, some way, because you didn't come back and go to the shaman in Indonesia or the magical healer that you went to and everything's good. Nope, didn't happen. You're lying. So it's all lies and manipulation. Look, if it all boils down to that he wants to be in the States for real and she wants to be in Indonesia, just say that and don't be together because one of you is going to be miserable. Like, stay in Indonesia, live your happy life. Stay in America, live your happy life. You may not be able to do it without each other or with each other, but at least you're not going to be miserable, one of you in the other place. So this is how we ended with them, and we're going to see how it goes with the reunion, but the preview shows that they're actually in process of getting the visa for her sister. So more to come on that, but clearly he's losing the battle. And she was at the live reunion, so I guess she moved back, but Angel's on the way, so have fun with that, buddy, because she is going to do nothing but lie, cheat, and steal her way to get her sister away from you, and y'all can, I don't know, they can live their happy life in the United States? I don't know. Either way, he's collateral damage. Now, he is a liar, so he probably deserves some of it, but at the same time, like, this is ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. Now, Lily and man-child Josh were left with him claiming he's going to pay for the wedding, but his credit card not working. So that's all fun because he has this magical money, but he can't seem to get his credit card to work. But yet, we're still going through with the wedding, so that makes sense.
Yesterday we cancel, maybe it's okay.
We cancel.
But today we cancel. 麦克兰是，沙漠克兰是 still on the road.
He's just on his phone. He doesn't even care.
驾驶没有在乎我的感受，没有设身处地的为我着想。
So yeah, he fails to put himself in her shoes, which is absolutely correct. He does not care. So what she's saying is that yesterday we could have canceled the wedding, but now I have some of my clients coming and they're on the way and we can't just cancel. And he's like, well, what are you gonna do? He doesn't care. And he's lying too. You know what these people have in common? They're all liars. They're all either liars or manipulators. I mean, there's a few, like Lily herself, I haven't really seen her lie. She has a temper. I will give her that. She's got a little bit of a temper, but she's not really, doesn't seem like a liar or manipulator. But a lot of them do, and that's a real big problem because how the hell are you going to make a relationship last if you're lying all the time? It just doesn't work. And Josh is a giant man-child.
就是我老公会给你们
Pay the
现
rest in
金，
cash.
其实也是有我点自己，我就想试探他一下。我确实想让他
Okay, did he
提到
though?
一个老公应尽的一个
Did he
责任
though?。
可是他还是没有做
What
到。
the hell? You were testing him, but he failed. But what do? You go through with the wedding? What the hell, lady? Holy crap. This is ridiculous. She knows damn well what kind of person he is, what kind of liar he is. And this is why, look, she seems like a nice person, but damn, you know what he is. You know he manipulated us. You know he's lied. You know he's a man-child through and through, but yet you say you're testing him to see if he can actually pay for something, to be like, all right, you're contributing. I want you as my husband to contribute something. And what does he do? He can't even get his credit card to work. And you say he failed the test, but what do? You take out a loan to finish paying for the wedding. Tell me how that works. So you go through with it? Come on. You're too smart for that. Oh, this looks nice. Y'all can afford that? Oh, they bow to each other. Wait, you sure you want to bow if you're bound to each other for life? Oh, they go through with it. Tell me, explain to me how you're affording this when she claims she's broke, he claims his credit card doesn't work, but he had some cash. Look, they pay for this whole thing for a relationship that is falling apart, just tearing at the seams? Doesn't seem like a good use of money.
我很希望他更多的关心我、照顾我。In the past, he has said he would change,
but he hasn't.
He has to show that with his actions this time.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't see how this marriage will work.
But yet, these are the questions you're saying on your wedding day is, how is this going to work? Because if he doesn't change some things, it can't. Like, these were questions to ask for, why are you even getting married the second time if you know there are all these things? You took out a loan. You took out a loan for something you know is not working. So this is not going to happen. I'm curious if they are done at the reunion. If they're not, it will not be long after. Sarper and Shekinah, the fun ones of the bunch who have their own issues, but somehow you can't stay, like, I can't get outraged at them. Like, they had their thing where he pulled out her extensions, which was fun, but, you know, it was a blip, and is like, okay, it said it was an accident, fine. You're like, yeah, dude, wrong. But in reality, it's like, it's hard to stay mad at these two, even though they're annoying. Like I said, they need their own reality show. But he thinks it's a good idea to do this proposal to kind of throw things off in hopes that he won't go to the United States. So he's still kind of lying, but yet doing what he thinks she wants. So I hope he's doing it legitimately. Either way, there are some ulterior motives, and that's not good.
Baby, that's so sweet.
Her eyes look crazy. Don't blame
What are you
context
doing?
in.
I will marry you.
I will marry you. So he proposes. Of course, she says yes. Magic sparks fly. Everything's great. And he's like, now I do not have to go to the United States. He. Like an evil genius, which, you know, I think he wants to marry her on some level. Like, I don't think it's all a sham, but I definitely think he conveniently had this timing, you know, down so he could, in hopes of, stay there, which, you know, he didn't want to go to the United States. It's fine. You want to stay in your home country. But that's a conversation you're going to have because she does want to live in the United States. Big problem.
Sarper and I have to get married in order for him to live in the U.S. with me.
Yeah.
That's a step I'm willing to take now, especially since I do feel like Sarper's the right person for me.
Fantastic. But is she going to feel the same way when she finds out that he has no interest in moving to the United States? This is the problem with all of these couples having all of these miscommunications, if you will, which in reality is just lies and outright hiding things from each other before or even after they get married, because these are things that are going to rear their ugly heads. And what are you going to do then? You have to deal with it. Are you going to be able to work through it? Are you going to be able to actually make things work? Or is it going to be like, what the hell, goodbye? Then you have to deal with the divorce and all that extra crap that you should have never had to deal with to begin with, had you actually just been honest with not wanting to do certain things. It almost seems like it's a smart decision to be honest.
Hani benim bütün şeyim ileride bir gün. Umarım bütün bunlar sizin sevginiz, gördüğü şeyler.
See, he's saying that I hope that the love you've shown convinces her, saying it in, you know, his language, not translating. And she at one point even says, I wish I knew what they were saying. But he just kind of dulls it down and says, you know, a really pared down version, but it sure as hell wasn't, I don't want to go to the United States. So now he's actively hiding things from her in front of her face. It's almost more, it would be almost more angering knowing that you don't speak the language and he's doing it right in front of your face. That would kind of make you mad, I would think. But she doesn't know right now. So how pissed is she going to be when she finds out that he was talking about it right there, that he ain't going? So says he. However, again, reunion comes up. It looks like he's in the United States, so maybe she convinced him and they worked through it. I don't know. We will see when the sparks fly next week with that one. But it's going to be crazy. And just a quick update for Corono and Inky, because quite frankly, the season ended kind of anticlimactic. It looks like the real sparks fly next week, which, what do you know? They're holding out some drama for the reunion. Shocker. But in reality, all that really happened with them is that they still went back and forth. She's still thinking, hey, maybe you're not showing enough interest of not caring if I go or stay. He's making it seem like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And she's ultimately seeming like she's going to make the decision of, I'm going to go back to school. And he's kind of saying, we'll figure it out. So kind of amicable, but not really, because she wants him to fight for her, but he's not really doing it. Then again, it doesn't really seem like it's in his nature. I mean, of course, you should fight for your woman. I mean, that should be part of your nature. But calm, cool, collected, trying to do what he thinks she wants is what it seems like. But she really wants him to fight for her. It's not playing out. Ultimately, she looks like she's going back to the United States to go to school, which is probably your best bet, because if you really do love them, both of you love each other, they'll still be there in 2 years. You can do the long distance thing. I mean, if you try really hard, you can make it work. It's not easy, but you can try. And then you can revisit when you actually finish your school that you really want to do. So then you don't even hold a resentment of not being able to get the education you really wanted. So that was probably the best bet all along, but she jumped the gun, was impulsive, and ran up over there thinking she'd just be able to go to school there, not knowing a damn thing about it. So impulse control issues are a big one with these couples, but she learned the hard way, so we'll see how it plays out when they actually leave. But as of right now, it's not going down the good path.
But even though I don't necessarily want you to move there, it's still, you still have your
You still have your own choice, is what he goes on to say, even though he's saying basically, I don't really want you there. I want my mom with me, but you have your own choice. Now, she ends up saying, well, it is your choice in a way, because I'm not going to go against you. And she ultimately seems like she's making that decision, which, you know, what did you think was going to happen? But kudos to her for acting like she's going to stick by what the kids say. Now, if that continues, we will see. But Sean did make some interesting statements when it comes to thinking about doing the long distance thing for another 6 years before both the boys are grown, basically, which, you know, your oldest one is grown, but he's the one saying he doesn't want you there. So are you going to do the same thing when your youngest one's grown? I mean, they're still your kids. If they say they don't want you to go, but they're grown, are you going to go? That's interesting.
Until they're adults, I can't leave them.
Yeah.
I understand.
True.
Kids come first, but yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you know, you gotta give... Okay, they made a big mistake by rushing getting married and be like, everyone's going to be good, and then not telling anyone for 2 years. But I will give them their credit here when they're handling it pretty maturely, in the sense of they both acknowledge that the kids come first, and that if the kids don't want it, don't want them to move, that they're going to do with what the kids want. And you know what? Power to them for that. It doesn't really bode well for their relationship, and unless they figure it out... Look, sure, you can make it work. People have made it work with long distance, but it is not ideal, and it's very difficult, and you're probably not going to last, most likely. So that's a tough one. But power to you for putting your kids first, as you should, because kids come first.
A little bit guilty for feeling so disappointed, because obviously if the roles were reversed, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to live without my wife, but there's no way I could live without my child.
There you go. There he has. So he gets it. And you know what? That's what I'm talking about. That is maturity right there. That is how a man should be. Now, you took some backslides when you did the whole, I'm getting married and we're not telling anyone, and your daughter didn't even know you were with Joanne. But talking about, I would do the same thing for my daughter. I wouldn't live without her. She didn't want to live there. We wouldn't be going. That's what a man should be doing. because once you get married, it's your wife. Once you have kids, your kids come first. Of course, you're always going to love your wife. You're always going to protect your wife, but the kids are always going to come first. That's the nature of it. And a good couple who work together and make everything work understand that. It goes both ways. For a father and a mom, your kids come first. It is what it is. They eat before you eat. That's how it works. So they're exuding that right now, so I give them a lot of credit there.
But we're going to have to just keep doing what we... I don't know if we can do it for another 6 years.
Exactly. He said the quiet part out loud. He said, I don't know if I can do it for another 6 years. Basically, he's going to say, we'll try, we'll do the best we can, but he's admitting that 6 years is going to be very difficult to do long distance, go fly back and forth. She's talking about just fly. We'll just take turns. I'm like, I don't know how these people have all these expensive thousands of dollars in plane tickets just to go back and forth, but hey, I guess they're wealthy and they're well off. But regardless, you're not just talking about that. You're talking about just a very strained relationship going back and forth, spending weeks apart, months apart, and then having to fly and travel and do all these things and still be apart from the kids for those times, many times a year. It's very difficult. So if you don't figure it out in some way, or you just commit to it and can acknowledge that you can make it work, and you just somehow get your mind right, get your mind in the right headspace, it's not going to work. And you might as well cut it now instead of spend a lot of pain and a lot of frustration trying to make it work. So, I kind of hope they make it work. They're one of the ones that seems like a more mature couple. But unfortunately, they also have one of the biggest distances that is not going to change anytime soon. So maybe, I don't know, but he was in the United States, so I don't know if he's visiting or they're continuing to do the distance thing when it comes to the reunion. So we'll see what they say next week when the reunion starts. We also have Married at First Sight tomorrow. We got 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days every week on Sunday. We're going to do The Other Way. Well, we're going to do the reunions next week and the following week, and then The Last Resort comes. So we got a lot of shows coming. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all your support. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I will see y'all next time.